Live from the KFOX14 studios in El Paso and Las Cruces, you're watching the Emmy Award-winning KFOX14 News at 9.
And then there were 6. James Anderson, a former high-ranking administrator, becomes the latest person arrested in the ongoing cheating scandal in the El Paso Independent School District. That story in 7 minutes. But first,
KFOX14 Investigates has been digging into documents after the death of a local teenager during a carnival at St. Thomas Aquinas Catholic Church. Here's what we know so far. 16-year-old Hanks High School junior Samantha Aguilar was killed Friday night after being thrown from a ride called the Sizzler. KFOX14 has already looked into the inspection stickers for the ride's owner, Playtime Amusement out of Las Cruces. That company owns 2 so-called Sizzlers, one with a sticker that is valid through next year and one that expired on Saturday, one day after the teenager's death. Hello everyone, I'm Robert Olguin. KFOX14 Investigates uncovers an unsettling gap in safety when it comes to these kinds of rides.
I'm Erica Castillo. In fact, we confirmed that no one is checking the rides before you get on board. KFOX14 Chief Investigative Reporter Genevieve Curtis dug through state record and shows us what could be a deadly flaw. She starts our team coverage live from the KFOX14 control room.
Well, from cuts, twisted ankles to broken bones, dislocations, and now 3 deaths. Almost 600 people across Texas reported being injured at an amusement park ride in the last 5 years. And we've discovered more could be done to keep you safe.
It's a huge gap in safety.
Consumer advocates in Texas question the safety of the rides we enjoy. Investigators are trying to piece together what happened Friday night when Samantha Aguilar died after being thrown from this Sizzler. And another near-tragic accident recently outside of Amarillo when a father rescued his son from falling off a ride.
As soon as we went over, I felt the seatbelt release. I guess the motion of going down, it threw him to the bottom of the cart, and that's when I reached over to grab him.
Alex Winslow is the executive director of the consumer group Texas Watch.
We need to take a good hard look at these kind of traveling carnival rides to make sure that the standard we're using for measuring safety is sufficient.
From Six Flags to local church festivals, the Texas Department of Insurance oversees the inspections of amusement park rides. And just like your car, rides get an inspection sticker, good for 1 year. But KFOX14 Investigates discovered there's no one checking the stickers. TDI does not have an enforcement division, a major gap in safety.
Instead, local law enforcement is tasked with that. And in most cases, county sheriffs and local police departments just don't have the manpower or the resources to routinely inspect these facilities.
After 2 teenagers were injured on a Sidewinder in 2014, KFOX14 Investigates reached out to the El Paso Police Department and the Sheriff's Office. TDI gives them the authority to check inspection records, insurance information, and daily logs. Both agencies told us then they don't do it and haven't done it. That means no one is checking the ride's records, which can be problematic as carnivals move from place to place, pulling rides apart and putting them back together again.
We need to make sure that every time they're reassembled, that they're as safe as they possibly can be.
Winslow says it's time that the Texas legislature take a look at dedicating the resources needed to having an enforcement division to enforce these state laws, as well as looking at the safety standards and making sure they are where they need to be to make sure something like this doesn't happen again. Reporting live, Genevieve Curtis, KFOX14 Investigates.
Thank you, Genevieve. Unfortunately, this is not the only time someone has died on a ride at a local carnival. In fact, it happened as recently as 2014. In 15 minutes, KFOX14 News at 9's Jillian Furtick looks back at the case and updates us on the status of a civil lawsuit filed against another local amusement company. Meantime, the Hanks High School community is still mourning the loss of Samantha Aguilar. This afternoon, the school honored her with a ceremony. Students there tell KFOX14 News at 9's Ashley Cullinane about the pieces of Samantha that they will carry with them.
School leaders say Samantha was a role model for everyone at Hanks. She was ranked 11th in her class. But friends say it was her selflessness at such a young age that truly set her apart.
She had a wonderful smile, and And also she's just a wonderful person. And
not a dry eye at Hanks High while students honored their beloved classmate.
I will no longer see her. I will never see that smile again.
Students wrote notes to Sam and tied them to balloons. Jaya Edgerton knew the junior for just a few months, but she says the upperclassman taught her lessons she'll keep with her.
Just don't look at things in a bad way. She was really positive.
Samantha had her own YouTube channel, Sammy Smiles.
Hi guys, I'm back.
Friends say she used it to send positive messages and get some laughs out of people.
I just love books. I even call you guys my book dragons, even if you don't read.
Back at Hanks, you could call her a leader among the pack. The 16-year-old ran track all 3 years. Her coach says the team is devastated.
We've had a lot of talks about how we grieve and just mainly just be there for each other.
Today, these students let go and hung on to each other.
She's beautiful, sweet little girl, always smiling, always happy. Really and truly cared a lot more about everybody else and more than she did herself.
School leaders say counseling services will be available all week for students. In the control room, Ashley Cullinane at KFOX14 News at 9.
Now, we spent the day trying to speak with the owners of Playtime Amusements Incorporated. KFOX14 News at 9's Ryan Hill finds out more about the company that owns the Sizzler, the ride under scrutiny in connection to Samantha's death.
KFOX14 was finally able to get a hold of the owners of Playtime Amusements. We've called and knocked on doors at their 2 Las Cruces locations.
We were able to locate Playtime Amusements storage facility of all of the rides you can see behind me in the lot behind this chain link fence here on West Amador Avenue.
Although no one spoke to us in person, they did release this statement. The Sizzler ride on which the accident occurred is owned by Moore's Greater Shows. At the time of the accident, Playtime and Moore's had each loaned to each other a Sizzler ride to test over the weekend in contemplation of transferring ownership. Playtime Amusement says their Sizzler is larger than the one it borrowed from Moore's. KFOX14 did some more digging on Moore's Greater Shows. We found the company does have one Sizzler in its inventory. The Texas Department of Insurance shows the ride's inspection sticker doesn't expire until next March. The state record shows Moore's hasn't had any reported injuries since August 2011. We also found Moore's has another presence in El Paso. It's been hired as the amusement ride company at Cielo Vista that's happening now. It was also at Sunland Park Mall's Carnival. A spokesperson for the malls was able to confirm this with us, but had no further comment. We contacted Moore's about the Sizzler used Friday night. We wanted to know if they had anything to say about Playtime's statement. They haven't gotten back to us. In the meantime, Playtime Amusements tells me it deeply regrets the accident that killed Samantha Aguilar. Ryan Hill, KFOX14 News at 9.
Playtime Amusements said in its statement that this is the company's first incident since it was established in 2007. KFOX14 has you covered on air and online. We'll continue to look into this fatal accident. On our website, you can find previous inspection records for the company working in charge of the rides at the carnival and official statements from the parties involved. You can find that and more on KFOXTV.com.